So I'm super excited to share my insights with you. And before I introduce myself, I want to move into talk with two facts. So fact number one is 744.2 miles. So for all the European people, 1,200 kilometers in 4 days. And fact number two, washing my shoes for 30 minutes in the hotel bathtub. So you maybe think, what did I do? You read the description of the meetup and Sina just said it, but I was conducting research on construction sites. So I was driving in a lot of kilometers in a different country, and I will tell you a few more facts about this today. But first, who am I? Who are you seeing here in front of you? My name is Laura, and I'm working, as Sina said, as a senior user experience consultant at Interfacewerk. My passion is research and generating an understanding of the problem space, and that's the reason why I'm here and why I want to share my thoughts with you. I want to show you why it is important to get your hands dirty during a contextual inquiry and how to prepare a day on-site research in another country, and how to process all the insights that you get like throughout a whole week. I will do this walking you through the different steps that you see here. So about the challenge, how we started, the preparation that we did, the research on site, and the evaluation of all the insights. And my goal is that after this talk, you all close your laptop and you just feel the power and motivation to plan your first and next contextual inquiry as soon as possible. So to start off, Anna, she's a colleague of mine. She's here in the call. And in the next few moments, I would like to get your thoughts on your experience or expectations on a topic, just a few words. But as you all know in the call, our job as a designer is to solve problems that most of people don't see as they get used to it. So a few years ago, it was totally normal that you had to charge your new device that you got, for example, your phone, before using it for the first time. And now you get everything pre-charged, so you can just start the experience right away. And as you as well might know, in our daily life, we see a lot of things that could be improved. But what happens when you get a client project with a product you're not familiar with? Anna, what are your thoughts on that? And could you imagine, or what was your reaction getting a product as a project you didn't even know it would exist?
Yeah, my first reaction was, oof, how am I going to understand, like how am I going to understand what's going on? I mean, I've never been in contact with any construction site or any construction machine, and it's yeah, exciting to get into it. A lot of YouTube videos help, because there are actually a lot of YouTube videos that explain the machines. And also asking a lot of questions. Like all my colleagues get a lot of questions about, hey, what's going on? What is this product? And yeah, and that helps a lot.
Thank you. Okay, so probably some of you would feel the same way, and I did as well. I felt I was totally overwhelmed. As I'm just human, as all of us, in the first meeting, I got all the insights about a product I'll show you in a few seconds. And to be honest, it took me until the second day of the research until I really understood everything that I wanted to know about the product. So what I'm talking about, I will talk about my research in the US for the company Putzmeister, and specifically about this product or this machine or truck. So that truck is called TELEBELT, and it's a truck with a mounted belt, and which can transport gravel or concrete, so as you see here, and it can be used, for example, on residential construction sites. And our challenge was to find out how the operators use the TELEBELT, and especially how they interact with the remote control, and how to improve this remote for a smooth and great experience. And as you might imagine, like the main target group is in the US. We're based in Germany, so we had to plan everything from Germany to fly to the US. And just that you as well get an insight of this beautiful remote control, I just want to show you a picture that I took in the US. So as you see, they're super clean, nice looking, and yeah. So after getting our challenge from the client, first of all, we of course got an introduction and presentation of the whole machine, of the remote control. We tried to understand everything, but we still wanted to have a better understanding. So before we flew to the US, we had a call with Kevin. He's the field service for Putzmeister America. So he's in contact with all the operators out there, and he knows all the pains and needs. So we talked with him on a phone, and here on the pictures, you see the wonderful quality that we had during the phone call, as internet connection was not that stable on the plant. But we still got some nice understandings. My learnings that I can get from here, our wonderful call with the US, it was first of all, schedule a call during a time where there is not a lot going on in the plant, because it was of course quite loud when they build machines, test machines, and you're trying to have a phone call with people. And of course, bring a power bank, because the phone of Sabrina, it just died after 30 minutes. So it's something that you should take in consideration. And of course, a stable and good internet connection. So preparing the research in the trip to the US, it's a huge shout out to our client, because they had a colleague, Sabrina, I just said her name. She really organized everything. So she had calls with all the operators, with the company, so we didn't have to kind of find the users. So we just had to, in that case, it was our luck that they organized everything. So we really appreciated her detailed and engaged planning, and she as well was driving us around through the whole week. So coming to the interesting part in the US, the week of construction sites started on Monday, 7 a.m. after a 10-hour flight to Chicago, and we were picked up. And as you might know, in the US, it can take quite some time to get from one spot to another. So we had a lot of time in the car to figure out more information about the machine, talk about the research that we got on site. And we visited 4 construction sites in total, which different use cases. So residential building, doing gravel or concrete, and a bridge deck. And I will just walk you through now 2 sites that we saw and the learnings that we got. So the first site was a residential area, and the operator did already set up the machine and was waiting for us. So here's some impressions of the machine. This was super great because we had round about 1 hour time to ask a lot of questions about machine pains, needs, and getting to know the setting until the gravel arrived that you see on the right side. No, it's a concrete on the right side. Because in the afternoon it was concrete, so it was super interesting for us. So we had the 2 use cases. Of course, we did not bring our paper prototype. You will see a picture later on, but we brought I had a notebook and I took a lot of sketches on there. And as you see, I even have some oil spots on, so really getting into the dirt. And how it is when you have visitors on a construction site, some things go wrong sometimes. So I was super happy when I realized that something was going wrong, because it's important for our job, edge cases. So in our case, the gravel that came with the truck, it was still frozen and couldn't be transferred as good as it should have been. Good for us because we really could observe the behavior of the operator and how he communicated with the gravel truck driver, on a special use case and not standing next to each other. So just the first learnings that we got on the first day already was to always bring the prototype, because you can always use it, although if it's just the first day. Bring sunscreen because of course we got sunburned. Always schedule enough time to talk to the operators. Keep your eyes open and hope for edge cases, but of course feel sorry for them, for the company who has to deal with it because it had a delay afterwards. Yes. Then our next super interesting construction site that we visited was our longest ride. It was a governmental project and the construction of a bridge deck. So you see on the left side on the picture our paper prototype that we brought with us. And on the right side, you see the TELEBELT machine with the concrete truck bringing the concrete into the bridge deck and filling it up. It was freezing cold, just that, you know, maybe you saw it, no blue sky. It was super cold. And what was very nice for us is that Kevin, the guy we had the call with before from Germany, he joined us. And he and the operator, they had the possibility to build on our paper prototype and remote how they imagine it, how it could look like. After getting all the insights, we did something nice as well, and we went back to the Putzmeister headquarters. So we could see the beautiful machines, the fresh ones with a new color on it, and as well a brand new remote control and not dirty at all. So this was very nice for us as well. Some learnings from that day. Although you had beautiful day on the next day, always bring warm clothes when you're out there on a construction site because you have no clue how the weather will be. Make sure you walk on the safe side of the construction site because one of us almost fell down in the water in the river because the people were just putting blankets over the wooden spaces where you could walk over. The next is ask on which side to park the car because we had to cross the river later on. It was fun for us and fun to make our shoes a bit more dirty. And of course, if you have the time to see the headquarters of your client or your own headquarters in a different country, do that and use that time. And as well, if you have short days, try to see the city you're in because that was the only 2 hours that we went out. And it was very nice for us. Then another thing that we did in the headquarters is we used our time, of course, when we were not on a construction site. So I want to show you a canvas that I used. I found the interview and feedback canvas from the Canvas Revolution online, and I took the idea of it and transformed it into a canvas which did fit better to our situation. And we printed this out and brought it with us on the construction sites. Because as I said before, we were in the car a lot of hours and we had a lot of time to fill those sheets. So then we had in the office or in the car time to reflect about the gains that you see up here, the pains below, and possible solutions that the operators mentioned. So this helped us a lot to align and kind of close up those days with the same understanding and expectations. And of course, write down all the information that we couldn't write down on notebooks and just had in our head. And then to sum up, again, the learnings from those days is, first of all, be prepared for changes in the timetable, because I just mentioned that we were in the office and of course it was not planned, but construction sites can change. So you have to be quite flexible, and due to Sabrina, it was still possible to see other construction sites, but being flexible helps a lot. What helped us a lot was to bring this canvas to summarize the days and do it together with the client, with the team, and try to see various operators. The researchers probably all know, and various edge cases, use cases. And of course, what was very interesting for us to see machines with different experience levels. So they super old ones or new ones. Now, jumping to our last day, we had no more construction sites, but the possibility to summarize everything, already start with ideation and scribbles. And we as well had an appointment with a remote repair shop to get some feedback from the persons which have to repair the destroyed remotes. This was, of course, as well, really fun for us as well, because we could see the destroyed remote controls, find out what gets destroyed easily, and the person helped us as well to have a look at our prototype that you see here on the right side. Okay, so 5 days are over in the US, and then we had, of course, to do the evaluation back in Germany. So I'll just walk you through how we did this. because there was, as I said, a lot of information that we had. We had information in my paper notebook that I just showed you, full of oil. Then we had a lot of photos and videos, and of course, our canvases. So to do a smooth evaluation, I did set up a Miro board, and first of all, created one frame per construction site. So I wrote down all the basic information about the machine, the construction site, information about the operator, and posted as well pictures. We as well added surprising insights and good to know facts that we got during the observation. And below that, I placed another frame with a paper prototype, so pictures of it, and different buttons explaining what we meant with which description and which little tiny post-it that we were putting on it. And last but not least, we had the handwritten canvases of each construction site on the Miro board. So this was kind of just the documentation of the raw material for us that we brought with us. But of course, we had to deliver a recommendation for actions and a consolidation of all the insights. So to do so, I as well created some new frames on Miro and wrote down again all the insights from the operators, because we realized not everyone can read the handwriting on the canvas. So little learning, maybe you can do it digitally already. But after that, of course, we clustered the insights, and then we had the possibility to write down the main pain points, hypotheses and priorities, and recommendation for actions. And if you just ask yourself now, what is this sun down there? It's a little, it's like a priority. So in the middle is the primary priority, after that, secondary, and then a tertiary. So that was as well another way of visualizing it, nice for our clients. Yes, so I could walk you, I hope I could walk you a bit through how we got our hands and shoes dirty and how we drove a lot of kilometers in the car, starting with the challenge that we had to create the nice and more user-friendly remote control, then going on how we prepared everything, the research on site, and then how we evaluated all the insights that we got, and of course the learnings. So yeah, I thank you very much, and I hope you all want to go out now and get your hands dirty, do some contextual inquiry. And if you want, you can as well reach out, LinkedIn or email. And